until 8 or 9 years ago when, like I said, I had that gift of desperation, found myself back at AA meetings, and really applied. I knew what to do and what not to do. I knew what worked and didn't work because, I had the trial and error through my 20s. And, did everything that was told to me. I surrendered to whatever Santa Claus thing I was supposed to surrender to. But mostly I think I surrendered to the fact that I just didn't want to live that way anymore. I didn't want to live the way I was living anymore. And I did some thorough work, 4 steps, and made amends and worked with others. And I found a lot of relief from the craving, the urge to use. I didn't have that anymore. It was great. It was beautiful. But what I found after, a year and a half, almost 2 years, that I didn't want to use, but I was still really irritable and bitter and short-tempered. And every time I felt that way, I was helping someone else, and I would feel good about it, but then I would come back to myself, and I was still bitter and angry, and I was acting out and reacting rather than responding. And I was miserable. And the messed up part is I knew that drugs and alcohol wasn't going to take that away. So I was in a conundrum, if you will, and a lot of pain, but I knew that my medicine wasn't going to work. So it was a scary place. I didn't necessarily want to die, but I didn't want to live that way anymore again. So I called my friends who turned me on to meditation before, and reluctantly went and hung out with them down at Big Sur. They were doing a meditation retreat, and I just wanted some freedom. And I don't know what was different. One thing that was different was I show up in this meditation hall, and I could just sit in a chair. I could sit on the floor. I could lay down if I wanted to. I didn't have to close my eyes if I didn't want to. I felt held. I felt safe. I felt okay. I can just meet my experience the way it was. And I felt comfortable enough to close my eyes. And it was loud, but it was just recommended. Just see if you can get a breath. Just name the breath when it comes in. Name the breath when it goes out. Just softly in your mind. And I had a moment of peace. I was like, oh, shit. And the thoughts came right back, but then I kept going. And I was like, wow, there's freedom. There's peace. So like any good junkie, I was like, I want more. I want more of that.